Before we get started, a big thank you to all of my supporters over on Patreon and on Twitch, with the Patreon people coming up on screen now. A big thank you to my legendary supporters, Mike, Kira, Truck Driving Gamer, and Obi-Wan Kanzi. Thank you guys, I really very much appreciate it. If you would like to help support me and the channel, then you can head over to twitch.tv/mandatoryquest and drop a sub over there. Or you can go over to patreon.com/mandatoryquest and become a Patreon member for some early access to some videos and some behind the scenes stuff. Today we are doing Top of the Spire. So this is the follow-on scenario from the last one that we did. We are going to the top of the spire to fight the big boss. So the Lord of Chaos, it looks like, is the name of this boss. Chaos Demon, I presume. So yeah, as it was a linked scenario, don't need to do any road events or anything. We just need to do the scenario introduction and do our battle goals, our challenge, and see how we do. In terms of starting, actually, we can start anywhere around the edges of the room. We'll just go like this for now. But what I might do is, after we go through the special rules, I think we might look at the cards that we're bringing in, because boss scenarios always kind of change what types of cards you might want to bring in, depending on their immunities and other things that might be going on, you know, special rules that they bring in. So it's always important to readdress your cards. Plus, to be honest, in the last scenario, we bought a load of stuff that was good for that particular scenario. So we'll definitely evaluate that. Okay. Let's get Foreteller open. If you're on your hack, do the lightning eels, same HP, at the same level +1. Oh, that's pretty good. Yeah, we could do that. We can maybe do that. Biology, that sounds good. My pie comp isn't exactly built for a battle like this, but you believe? Maybe not, maybe not. We'll have to flick through our cards. I have decided to switch up my items slightly, and I may do that. Actually, do I have any extra items on my trap? I don't. So I've switched up my items slightly. But we might change up our items even more. Looks like the camera's slightly out of focus for some reason today as well. Let me just check that a second. It's about right, actually. Okay. Top of the Spire, scenario 34. Ooh, a 3-minute introduction. Nice.
The highest level of the Spire allows an unparalleled view of the region. Hundreds of ice spikes as tall as pine trees spread out in all directions, making the plain beneath this metal tower appear like a great spiny beast with its hackles raised. You would take time to admire the sight, had you not just witnessed the horrors at work in this demonic spire. And now the architect of those horrors, the driving force of this vile factory, stands before you. It's a demon, a creature like those you fought below, but its form is far more twisted. An elder fiend. The creature you face is a furious, intertwined mass of whipping tendrils and hard, slick shell. Its head nods steadily, an alien skull wrapped in tight, prismatic skin and bursting with errant, uncoordinated horns. It is a creature born of madness and calls to you in a high, breathy voice.
Weak, childish things! You waste your last moments peddling here!
laughs, but the noise is closer to retching.
My power is the only true reality, mortals! The power of pain, and fear, and chaos!
The beam of light, which had until now been humming idly, suddenly flares to life and curves sideways, stretching out to the demon like a violent river. The sound is incredible. Slivers of energy break off and snap against the brick walls, blackening them with fiery scars. After a moment, the beam settles, and the noise is replaced with the demon's nauseating laughter.
The realm is mine now, and no being will escape the rebirth!
You have known fear. No adventurer survives without it. And yet, despite all of your hard years, you know that fear and madness are not the only forces that hold power here. There are others. There are stronger forces that you can feel even now. Forces that drive your hand to your weapon, that steel your nerves and light a new fire in you. They are forces that lift your feet and compel you forward, that raise your weapon high into the air and give you the will to fight. You take hold, gathering every ounce of strength and charge.
Ooh. Yo, bring the pain. These forces should fight this guy then, not us. Yeah, what are these forces? All right, boss special 1. Okay, let's go special rules first, actually. Special rules. The Lord of Chaos is immune to forced movement. Okay, well, that's immediately going to cause us an issue. Means we can't push or pull him into traps. So, yeah, that's immediately an issue. So we'll have to figure out how we're going to deal with that. All corridors represent the beam of chaotic energy. Any character or character summon who enters a corridor hex suffers hazardous terrain damage and gains model and curse. In addition, any character entering one must also place 1 damage token on their character map. Okay. Set the numbered tokens next to the map. These will represent chaos sparks. Okay, got them. They're enemies to us and allies to the Lord of Chaos. They have 1+ level hit points on initiative 90 each round. They perform move 2, attack 2, equaling character -2 plus 2 times T, where T is the number of damage tokens on the character's map. Oh god. All Chaos Sparks cannot focus on character summons, and no more than 2 Chaos Sparks can be on the map at any time. Okay. So we'll do character -2, so 0 for us. So it'll be 0 plus 2 times the number of tokens. So it's basically going to be an attack times 2 the number of the tokens. That's all it is for us. You don't have to worry about anything else. It's just 2 times number of tokens. Okay, kind of makes sense. Also, this only affects us because it's characters. Boss special 1, spawn 1 Chaos Spark at B for 2 players, or 3 characters, or 1 spark at both A and B for 4 characters. Then the Lord of Chaos performs attack -2, target number of characters, range 5, and immobilize. Boss special 2, spawn 1 Chaos Spark at A for 2 characters, or 1 spark at both A and B for 3 or 4 characters. Then each enemy, even those with immobilize, is forced to move 1 hex towards the closest unoccupied corridor hex. Okay. It forces us back towards them. Interesting. Okay. Kind of a funky one, right? Yeah, there can't be any more than 4 sparks at any one time, guys, because character times 2. Yeah, 4 sparks. Told you this boss fight was not meant for the trapper. Well, no. I mean, we got things we can do, but yeah. Now, looking at the actual Chaos Demon itself, the Lord of Chaos himself, he is immune to wound, immune to disarm, immune to stun, and immune to curse. So not immune to immobilize, not immune to poison, not immune to Bane, and more importantly, and why I've decided to bring this particular item in, not immune to brittle. So you might remember that we got Robes of Doom a couple of scenarios ago from a road event. This says on your next 2 sources of damage from attacks targeting you, suffer 3 damage to give the attacker brittle. So brittle allows us to do basically a times 2. So my plan is to hopefully get a couple of brittle charges along with some poison charges and hope that that is enough. It's going to be a bit rough, but that could do a huge swing at some point. Brittle with a big dismantle. Yeah, something like that I think is a good idea. So we need to look at our cards because there's a big problem where we cannot use certain things. So, I mean, Attractive Bracelet is probably just not particularly useful this scenario. We could bring in the Dangerous Gear to just have another trap. Something else that we could maybe use Dismantle with, right? Probably a good idea. Yeah, let's look at the Trapper's cards first off. I think you'd probably say that Furry Facade can go. I don't think that's going to be very useful. Probably not spring-loaded. Not that. Not that. To be honest, there isn't that many more cards that we could actually bring in here. I mean, Dismantle's definitely coming back in. There isn't really that much we could do. We could maybe bring something like Electrified Net in. This is a card we haven't used yet, but actually could be quite useful here. In the sense that it could stun some of the Chaos Sparks if they're going to be annoying. But also the bottom here could be to create a nice Strengthen trap. Could be quite good if we were going to go for like a big attack. Big trap plus brittle plus boss dead. Yeah. Does brittle affect Bane? Yes. Yes, it does. But we can't Bane because it is a boss, and all of our Banes are on normal or elite enemies. So unfortunately, we have no Banes. But yeah, it does work. Yeah, I think probably build a giant trap is probably the best way of going about it. Creating some giant traps and maybe throwing one for like... Maybe we just try and bless ourselves up a little bit too. And we try and like throw like a 20 damage trap or something. That might be a bit cute. But it could be an idea. Anyway, there's not much we can do aside from Electrified Net, really, I think. Which is probably a bit situational anyway. Yeah, so I think what we'll do is we just get rid of Furry Facade and we bring in, of course, Dismantle. And we try and build the giant trap. I'm hoping this guy's going to move towards us a little bit. That would be nice if he did. If we have a look as well at our Deep Wraith, we'll have to get rid of some of our Bane stuff. Also, Poison, not very good, of course. Sorry, Wound, not very good, of course. So, Mantle might be something we could maybe consider getting rid of. So I think I'm pretty happy to say that maybe Succumb to Fear can go. The good thing is with the Deep Wraith is we have a lot of teleport, right? So we can kind of get over there, which is good. I think we probably want to bring Black Scythe because it's just super good. Tumultuous Panic probably might come in as well. Maybe we get rid of Succumb to Fear. I seem to be missing some cards on the Deep Wraith. I don't know where they've gone. Oh, maybe not. I'm just being blind. So Soul Hunger come out as well. Succumb to Fear out. What's our starting hexes? So we can start like here or here. So a little bit closer. I do have like a move 6. I guess maybe we want to wait and do that a little bit later. It's going to be an interesting one, this one. Very interesting. Do I just not bring Staring into the Abyss, actually? And actually bring Succumb to Fear just for the initiative? Or Soul Hunger just for the heal 5, maybe? Hey, Brent. The guy seems like he has some more force movement under his sleeve, so the corridor shenanigans makes sense. Yeah, he can, his special 2 moves us. The really annoying thing is that we take hazardous terrain damage and we gain model and curse, right? This scenario does feel like, oof, bit. And it's each enemy as well. Feels like it's quite difficult to deal with this guy. Okay. I think we got a plan of attack. I don't know if it's a very good one, but I think we got a plan of attack. We'll give it a go. Okay, battle goals. Battle goals could be kind of interesting because it might go super fast or not. I guess I could use wild growth seeds in a way to maybe block off some of these hexes as well, which might be beneficial. Good luck, have fun. Yeah, I hope. Let's hope so. Plus 1 HP. Oh, no, no, no. No 1 HP this time. We are using Robes of Doom. We're using those new robes we got to hopefully apply a brittle. And absolutely smash him. If he heals, I would be so annoyed. I figured that, like, what's 1 health in this scenario? It's probably nothing. This is a... most boss scenarios are generally go fast. Especially in this kind of setup where you've got, you know, just you're straight into the boss room. There isn't kind of a lead up to it. All right, Trapper first. Ritualist. Pincushion, Assassin. Ugh. I don't think this is really gonna be very good. 3 or more elements are strong. Does he make elements, do we think? I mean, Chaos Demons generally do. But I guess not. He won't make elements because his specials don't make elements. So, no, he won't make any elements. I mean, I guess Pincushion, but he's Assassin, yeah. Yeah, he went with the boss deck, yeah. That's what I figured. We got Egoist, Tormentor, and Bully. Okay, Tormentor's very easy for us. Tormentor. It's pretty much a slam dunk. We will definitely achieve that. That's good. Easy 1 tick. Challenge. Shared Pain. Each time any enemy causes a character to suffer damage, another character suffers 1 damage. Ooh. No. I don't think so. Not with, like, the low health that my enemy might... No. Just no. Nope. Hard pass. Yeah. Yeah, that's one that's quite easy to just say no. All right, then. Let's do it, shall we? Let us do it. I can share for his Chaos Spawns. So I don't really know, like, what's his range? I mean, I guess he's just going to be spawning stuff. He has a move, right? It feels much easier at this point to just try and... Where do we want to put the trap? I guess at this stage it doesn't really matter. We'll just play Caltrops and we'll play the bottom of Flurry of Nails and just start getting the values up. immune to wound, isn't he? Yeah, I need to get the poison on him. I just need to make dark. Whatever I do here, just make dark. I guess I could use Mantle of Dread Bottom to just give model. Is that worth it though? Probably not. Need to curse. I think for the first turn, we just kind of see what happens. Move 0, attack 5, so nothing. That's good, right? Oh, Trapper first, sorry. So Caltrops. Just need a 43 damage trap and then Brill ease, yeah. So easy, right? Think the app is frozen? There you go. Looks like it's back. Looks like this is also got a little knocked out of line. See the edges of my green screen. There you go. That's better. Great. So then we'll move 3 and we'll just increase the value by 1. So boom. Well, I guess I probably didn't do that. I probably didn't do that in the right order, actually, thinking about it. Yeah, hang on. This is very important that I get these turns right. I don't want to increase the value yet. I don't think. I want to do a Caltrop still. I need to do the one that maybe places a Bless Trap or something. Oh, no, I can't do that because I need that. Actually, I don't think it matters. We'll just do it. Whatever. We're going to have to do a lot of like short resting and stuff like that. It's just that it seems a bit of a waste because I'm about to... Yeah, it is a waste because I'm about to improvised improvement 1. But then I guess in a weird way, I'm probably only using one of these anyway. Sure. Yeah, it's actually it's fine. It's fine. Let's just see how it goes. Okay, cool. So Deep Wraith can't really do too much. It's like, do I just get myself close to him to just start kind of doing damage as best I can? I guess I probably should have started the Deep Brave further forward, huh? Could have started there. Just so then I don't have to worry about, like, the weird, you know, going into there. Trap 2, right? Yeah, sorry. You're right, trap 2. Alright. Ease first round. Keep on building the giant trap in the corner of the room. This guy doesn't move though, right, at all? So I'm gonna have to go over there. Like, I've got no choice. Yeah, he has no move. So I guess with my dismantle, where's the trap gonna have to be? Have I messed up actually? Should I have bought the thing that allows me to move traps? I don't have that. I guess I could just continually dismantle as I go. Like, I'm going to have to probably dismantle, like, 3 times anyway. Sure. I guess I just kind of hop it along every time. It's okay. What did I do? Did I create dark last time? No, I didn't. Shoot. Guess it doesn't matter too much though. So should I just go for him? I mean, I don't see why I wouldn't. Yeah, like, you know, I got to do some damage to him at some point. Oh, here we go. Special 2. Spawn Chaos Sparks at A. Force all enemies to move 1 hex towards the closest unoccupied corridor hex. Oh, does that... Oh, should I be able to put the traps behind me? Oh, I didn't think that through. That could be a problem. I didn't think about that. Right? Maybe I should bring the relocate trap card. Maybe. We'll see. I think we can maybe shunt it along. I think maybe I shouldn't have... I completely disregarded this part of this. I presume that I would, like, it's forced movement, right? So I would just go, like, I would have to go here or here. I'd have no choice here. In which case, I should be leaving one sort of behind me. Didn't think about that. Trapper's immune. No, I don't think I have that perk. No. Do I not? Oh, no, you're right. I do have it. I completely forgot. I thought we went for a different perk in the end. Okay, cool. Yeah, it doesn't matter then. He's riding high. Unfortunately, he does though. So what's that gonna be? That's gonna be like, it's really annoying, but it's gonna be a muddle and 2 curses, right? Oh no, 1 curse. Sorry. Muddle and curse, and then hazardous terrain damage. Hazardous terrain damage, which is 2. And then we need to spawn these things. They also now have 1 damage on their mat. So it's just 1 spark at A, right? Okay, that's the whole thing. Right, trapper time. Do you want to do that now? I guess I want to kind of get closer. So we'll increase the value of the next trap I create around by 3. And we'll do ball catcher. So we'll make a 7 damage trap here. Should I get the D20 out? Because you know it's going to go high. Let's see how high we can get this baby. Okay, so Deep Wraith's gonna teleport 6. And it's gonna do 2 damage to the boss. And create dark and 1 XP. Then we're going to use Poison Vial. And we're going to do an attack 1, then an attack 2. Unfortunately with disadvantage because of the model, but it happens. Ambiguity, right? Take the first card drawn. Although it is -1. Would be ambiguous, so we would take the first card drawn, which would be +0. So with the poison, that does 2 damage. Yeah, it's immune to stun anyway. So, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, this is actually quite a good draw for us. In terms of disadvantaged. Because we have to take the first card. The stun, he's immune anyway. So, that's 2 damage, right? Then attack 2. So 1 with the poison, 2. So we ended up doing 3 damage. Ooh, it's a start. Not bad considering we're muddled there. So the lightning eel is going to get to go, right? Because it's a spawn, not a summon.
Now that's a lot of damage!
It's going to move there, and it's going to attack with disadvantage. And basically, it's attacking for 0. Zero. Do we have an eel in this scenario, or is it just a placeholder? It's just a placeholder, because there is no spark. If you push someone immune to the condition with the crack card that deals damage, if target can't be pushed, do they take the extra damage? If you're on about heaving swing, doesn't heaving swing specifically say obstacle or something? Doesn't it say specifically like if they are next to a wall? Missed one on the Lord. Did I? One, 2, 2, 3. Why did I do 4 damage? Oh, right, because of the poison. Gotcha. It's an interesting one, Hexen. I don't know. There isn't any enemy... is there any enemies that are immune to forced movement in Gloomhaven? I can't think of one off the top of my head. It would have to be a boss-like situation here, right? Yeah, there's Heaving Swing. And then there's... oh, God. Why can't I think of the name of the card? Yeah, there's 2 cards that do very similar thing, except one of them is you have to push them into an obstacle and it destroys it, and then there's the other one that's just if they are unable to be pushed, they take a point of damage for each hex they can't be pushed, right? I don't really know how that would operate, actually. Brutal Momentum says for each hex you can't move because of what... There you go. So then, no, you can't. I wasn't sure what the wording was exactly on Brutal Momentum. Thanks, Helicopter. Oh, maybe I should have stamina potions. Oh, no, it's okay, actually. I don't need stamina potion quite yet. Maybe on the next turn. Okay. So Deep Wraith first. We're going to attack for 3, consume Dark to make it an attack 4. I don't see any reason to not go for Heavy Sword Spyglass here at this point in time. We may as well use it to attack for 5 with advantage. So 3, 4, 5 with the poison, 6, and the +1, 7. Easy, chat. Gain an XP. Right, he's doing his boss A, isn't he? Oh, no, he's doing special 2 again. Oh, that's fine. I think that's okay. Then it was like Glass Racing Stabs bottom, but to be honest, I can't really do anything with it. He's gonna make me move a little bit anyway, so. Right, spawn another Chaos Spark. Force all enemies to move 1 hex towards the closest unoccupied corridor hex. I like the way that probably from the side view you can't even see him. He's just hidden. Twist it slightly, maybe. What does immune to curse mean? Can no curse be added to the deck, or is a drawn cast discarded, or both? No, you can't add curse to the deck. Basically, it means whenever an immunity exists, it means that it just physically cannot be applied to the figure. So, like poison, for example, you just can't apply the condition. The reason why that's important is for things like the Deep Wraith, right, who does have things that say if you have X amount of negative conditions, if an enemy is immune to it, it can never have that condition. It's not that that condition doesn't affect them, it's that that condition can never be applied. And it would be bad for the players if you did add them and they had no effects, because there's a limited number of curses you can add. So it would be bad in that sense too. So I guess I would have to move here. Or I could move forward. Do I want to move forward? No, I don't. I'm happy there. Okay, Trapper's turn. So first off, we are going to replace one adjacent trap with a 5 damage wound trap. Look, it's just an XP. This is why I didn't think I did this completely correctly. Ideally, I need to be... I'm definitely not efficiently doing this, but it's the first time I've tried to build our own mega trap. Down, we're going to destroy one adjacent trap. Move 3, add the effects of the destroyed trap to the adjacent trap. I need to get in range, don't I, really? So this is now... 12? I mean, it's got wound as well, but I'll put it underneath because that's not the important thing. I like the way that it's like we're like cooking our own little bomb here to try and throw it at the boss. It's fun, but it's kind of janky. Now, do I need to stand pot? That's the question here. Now's the time. Maybe I need to stand pot. The problem is that I need both dismantle back and I need the other one back, so I don't think I do. Oh, also I need to apply a curse here, don't I? A curse, model, and take 2 damage for going into that hex. Do I take a damage as well there? I think I do, right? I should have put a damage on my mat as well. Oh, I guess that kind of sucks actually. I'm actually gonna get hit for some damage now, maybe. Okay, what does my next turn look like? I could just pyrotechnics, couldn't I? Yeah, I could just pyrotechnics. Pyrotechnics and honeypot. Then if I do that, I can't use pyrotechnics. Well, I guess I would be short resting after the next turn, right? It's tough. I could use my wild growth seeds here as well, actually. That could be a good idea. Wild growth seeds, like, on one of these 2 hexes seems like a smart move. Or potentially, like, here. Nah, like, blocking these hexes is probably the move, right? Then I've got, like, an easy, like, just chuck 1 trap there type deal. Maybe I don't stamina potion then. Okay, so he's going to attack for 2. 2 times 1, so it's 2. With disadvantage. That'll be a miss. Ooh, I guess I probably should have used my wild growth seeds that turn then, huh? Yeah. That's what I did. I know I'm going to play it there anyway at some point. I may as well do it now. A big old spiky boy there. Prevents an attack straight away. It's a good idea. Okay. So... Maybe I should have stamina potions, actually. No, but then I think maybe I just have to short rest. I think maybe it's just short rest time. Because I need both cards back, really. Because ideally what I'd like to do on the next turn is like Ball Catcher Pyrotechnics or something. Or, Dismantle... Dismantle Caltrops would be good. Don't make the sparks go to my big trap. Why would they do? They ain't gonna go in it, right? Don't make me scared. Also, this does depend on the enemy also hitting me at some point. I have to hope that this guy actually attacks the Deep Wraith at some point. If he doesn't, then we're not going anywhere fast. If I stay where I am, Spark 2 will move on to it. This is only available hex for it to attack me. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah. Oh, so in that case then, actually, I probably did the movement wrong then for that. It should have gone there then. Right? Also, new sparks could spawn at B. Yeah. But the sparks always go on 90, though. So I can kind of get away from them, right? Oh, flurry of nails. It's a good one, but it's not gonna win us the game. Meanwhile, Deep Wraith's just kind of chilling out, doing his thing. Jew. Yes. Move -1. Oh no. Deep Wraith first then. So it's pretty simple. We just move back again. Then we're going to do 2 lots of Skewer the Flesh. He's poisoned, so basically it's going to be 2 attack 2s with the Mobilize, so with the poison, 1, 2, so 3 in total. We'll immobilize him for fun, which actually, to be fair, gets us Tormentor done. So Tormentor has been completed. Success. Just need to win the scenario now. Okay, So, Boar Catcher, create 1 4 damage trap in an empty hex within range 2. Then, dismantle, destroy 1 adjacent trap. Move 3. Make this a 16 damage wound trap. Ah! I'm coming for you. Right, so he's going to attack for 4, target 2, range 3. So both my guys, but disadvantage on both of them. So disadvantage on the Deep Wraith. Like, so the question is this a good time to try and apply the Brittle? I think it probably is, right? I mean, 16 plus something else. It's going to be pretty good. I guess we see what he draws first. That's actually pretty good. So he drew 5. So I'd have to take 8. Or I guess I could burn a card for the 5 and just take 3. Going to 1 is probably not advisable. Question is though, is I don't have dismantle in my hand, so I'd probably have to like leave it another round. If I was to apply the, I mean, I got 2 charges of it, so I could also just hit him for 4. I could long rest next turn, and I could just hit him for like, I could hit him for like 5, 6 with just a regular attack too. Let's burn a card. But we will take 3. Add Brittle. So Brittle, for those who don't know, it's a new condition. It's on the next source of damage the figure takes. Take double that amount of damage. So it's important that we use it for like dismantle, but also I could use it for just a very big high value attack maybe. It's not so bad. Brittle is definitely dismantle. Yeah, with brittle I have to use dismantle really, because with unavoidable outcome, I would get the brittle on the attack 2, not on the damage trap, right? Kind of tempted to long rest on the Deep Wraith here. I think I'm relatively safe. That would allow me to refresh my sword and spyglass. Oh, I actually thought the Robes of Doom I could only do twice. I didn't realize it was a tap. For some reason I just thought this has to be exhaust. It's not. That makes it a little bit more spicy, huh? No loot deck for this scenario? I don't know. That's a great point. No, there is no loot deck for this scenario. Will this be the most damage I've ever dealt in Haven? No. No. And to be honest, I don't think it'll even be close. Like a lightning bolt combo on I mean, I guess it depends if I draw a ×2 or not. That could be the difference. You know, drawing a ×2, but there have been times on Bolt where I have gone, like in a single turn, if you've got rings, go Glass Hammer, Resolute Stand, like full, and you'll do a lot. If I draw a ×2 as well, then yes, this probably would be, because then it would be like the doubling ×2, right? Doesn't boss attack both characters? Yes, sorry, you're right. I missed out the attack on the Trapper there. Did he draw a miss or something? Where's he reshuffled? Hang on, let me undo. Good call. Can I undo? Oh, the ×2 draw, right. Good catch. Ooh, that's the first time we've had that one, right? Oh, it doesn't move us though. That's fine. Okay, so Trapper first. We'll do Pyrotechnics top. What is it? It's 3 less than strengthen, but I'm gonna walk into it now anyway. Move 3. Boop. So we'll heal up for 3. And I'll move backwards and forwards. Boop, boop. And we'll heal for 3. Then we will create a 2 damage heal. Here. Trying to load up on them blesses. He's going to immobilize. Be careful. Immobilize is fine, right? Right now, I think. I don't think it's a huge problem. I suppose I could. No, I think that's fine. I think we're okay like that. Spawn Chaos Spark at B. Is it just one? Yeah. So there's a maximum of 4 of these guys out as well. Attack 3, target 2. So again, he's going to attack the Trapper with disadvantage. Null. And then onto the Deep Wraith with disadvantage as well. So that would be 3. Immobilized, immobilized. I guess I need to have a look with my Trapper if I need to. Do I want to dismantle next round? I could dismantle next round. I'm going to need to use the stamina potion to dismantle at some point. Sure, I've used the stamina potion to get dismantle back. Lightning Eel, they've got a card. What? I thought we removed all their cards. Does anyone know if the community has at long last collected decided we can finally discuss Envelope X reward without worrying about spoilers? Unfortunately, it is the most spoilery spoiler. Sorry, but it's going to be a long time. It is considered to be sacred ground. Do-do. Okay. You thought Envelope X stuff was included into Frostbox pre-orders? If you added it on, you could order the physical components for that reward if you wanted to. There was like basically an extra option for that. I didn't do it, but I'm not quite sure why I didn't at the time. I'm starting to kind of... I'm a bit annoyed at myself that I did that. Right, we need to turn it on a little bit, don't we, now? I feel like I'm gonna have to use one of these charges here, aren't I? One of these charges of brittle, because we're not quite there yet. We'll be close, but I guess the thing is I'm kind of like counting on them during their specials at some point, and then this is like, it's gonna go in cycles, right? Okay, that's good. So we can refresh it here, I think. What does special 1 do? That's the same as we just drew, right? Exactly the same. Yeah. I can try and kill one of the Chaos Sparks as well in the process. Seems reasonable. Okay, so we're gonna move teleport 3. We'll just teleport here. And we will consume a trophy to give ourselves a heal 3. Then we're gonna go in for the big burn. So, Crippling Terror. I don't think there's much reason for me to consume a trophy here just to get pushed 2. There's no real benefit for it that I can see. So I'll create Dark. You know, it might be that this guy doesn't attack me, but I should probably still kill him, I guess. But then I have no trophies, so I can't heal in a pinch. I mean, I need to kill him anyway, so yeah, I don't think I'd do it. Or do I? No, I don't think I do it. I think we hope that we get him anyway, with a 4 is good enough. So we'll attack the boss first. We'll use Heavy Sword, and we'll use Spyglass here. I can't teleport with Immobilized. I wasn't immobilized. Because I long rested. He immobilized me, but I was long resting that turn, so it didn't matter. Chaos Sparks have their own monster type in Secretariat if you click the spawn Chaos Spark line on the boss's card on its turn. What? This is new information. I've been misled. I blame biology for this. I thought we were doing a little workaround. Did not know that was the case. You think you can teleport when immobilized? Yeah, I think you can teleport when you're immobilized anyway. Yeah, sorry, if that was the question, yeah. Pretty sure. We can double check in the rules, but pretty sure. Because immobilized just stops you from performing a move ability, I think. And teleport is not considered a move ability. We'll double check that. But I think that is how it is. Immobilized. The figure cannot perform any move abilities. Immobilize is removed at the end of the figure's next turn. There's probably a big old section on teleport somewhere here, right? Teleport? Nah, who needs to explain teleport? It's very obvious what it does. But yeah, I don't think teleport is a move ability. Yeah. Well, I know it teleport's not a move ability. Because, for example, a pair of boots that would say give you +1. Yeah, so teleport here. Teleport is the ability that transports a figure. A teleport ability is not considered a move ability. There you go. Anyway, so we're attacking with advantage onto the boss. We are attacking for 5 with the poison 6. And we've got that little brittle on there. It's a 6. It's over! Come on! Oh, baby! There it is! Oh! Oh! Right, so... What scenario, anyone?
No, that's a lot of damage.
That's a lot of damage. Maybe we don't need to pump our trap quite as high as we have been now. So this is going to be... Right, let's work this out. So it's 4, 5, with the poison 6, times 2, 12, doubled again,
Yeah, boy.
24.
A little bit spicy.
24 damage. Oh, nice game. The big 24, yeah. That's the best roll we can get out of this character. Boom. Oof.
Nice.
Oh. 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 Beautiful. Did I give myself the XP for that? I don't think I did, because I'm only on 2. I've definitely burned something else for an XP, right? Yeah, I have. Ooh, so good. And now we're just going to attack number 1. Dead. Oh. Deep Wraith, everybody. Take a bow. Targeted spark, though, right? Yeah. That would be like one of the situations where you'd have to be like, if you had somebody around your table who's a little bit cheeky with the takesies backsies, you know, there's an element of takesies backsies sometimes if you know you're like, oh yeah, I'll just change that a little bit. But if you're like, don't declare who you're attacking and then draw to see who you get the best draw against. Oh yeah, no, that was the draw for the spark. Okay, yeah, no, now I'm doing the real draw. Yeah, okay, buddy. Do I get a trophy for the spark? I do. Thank you for reminding me. Brittle again for the big trap. Yeah, that's coming up next. Can we overkill it? That'd be so sweet. Okay, next thing we're doing, improvised improvement. 1 XP. We're turning this heal 2 trap. Surprise! It was a 5 damage. It was a 5 damage wound trap all along. Then we're going to destroy an adjacent trap. Should I like destroy this one and put it there for safety? I don't think it really matters, does it? Oh, I guess I would rather. I'm gonna need to like make sure that I don't have disadvantage, right? I guess I just leave it there. It's fine. How am I going to do the 1? I should just do it with 2 dice, shouldn't I, really? But I got to take this wound off, because we know it's got wound. It doesn't matter, right? Twen 21. If I move it back, I can stand on it. Oh, that's a good point. That's a good point. Oh, no. So at the moment, we would do 42 damage with the dismantle minimum. Probably. I feel like maybe this will be okay. I could just have the D20 roll over, so from 20 he rolls over to 1, since you know that is 21. Yeah, but then I don't get the fun thing of putting like 2 massive dice on the table. Only 12. Okay. Maybe we should do this every scenario. I think it would be a pretty losing strat, but it's quite a lot of fun. Right. Damn you, eels. What's he doing? Attacking for 2 still? Yeah, still 2. Three. Uh-oh. I have to make sure that I don't go below 3, right? I guess I could burn another card, but... Okay, let's try this theory out then. We can press this button, apparently. Whoa. Game changer. What the hell? When was this added? Is this brand new? Oh, I should have done them last, shouldn't I, as well? I messed up the ordering there. Damn you, eel. Causing confusion. Continue to use eels. That was a waste of 12,000 channel points, my friends. You're gonna really die on this hill, huh? Okay, so yeah. He's gonna attack 3, disadvantage again on both guys. The immobilize though. Immobilize? What's that about? Means I can't do it next turn. Dude. Could I have... No, I was immobilized this turn too, right? Back-to-back immobilized turns. Jeez, not cool. Okay, so that is 2 damage to the Deep Wraith, which I will take. Then I will burn a card to add the Brittle. Challenge, lose this scenario. Oh. Okay. It's a shame there wasn't like a token or standee given out for these sparks, right? Feels like a bit of a shame. So this guy just needs to move. That's the only thing that would change there. And then we need to have an attack on the Trapper as well. I guess the Immobilize is kind of frustrating now. The double curse with advantage is incoming, by the way. Do not even. Don't even start with me. I mean, I could just go for another Brittle play, or do you think, is this being greedy now? Are we just being super greedy? Possibly. I feel like I am currently going full greed. Move this trap out of the way. We're not going to use this again. I have the attack there. A +0 will deal 44 damage. That... What? A +0 will do... How is that going to... What? Yeah, I mean, I'm immobilized, though. So even with advantage, I would be disadvantaged because it's a ranged attack. So I'll be flipping one card. I'll be in the mercy of the gods. The mercy of the Gloomhaven gods if I go for it now. Maybe I just attack the other guys. Sure. And we buy ourselves one more round. Hope that the special comes up or something. If that trap misses, your night is ruined. Oh, my night... I think my whole week would be ruined, to be honest. I have to kill it in one, otherwise, did this even really happen? Not being able to move here really sucks, actually. The only other option is to maybe long rest on the Trapper. Because I don't really have a turn here. If I long rest now, I get my Dismantle back. I lose my Immobilize. I long rest. There's nothing terrible here that can really happen to me. Nothing terrible that can happen to me here. Even if they do, like, attack me, I've got so many cards in my hand and discard that even if I was to have to, you know, burn 3 cards to attacks, I am absolutely fine. Which just won't happen that way. And if anything, I can just try and soak an attack with the Deep Wraith if I really wanted to here. Yeah, it's fine. Okay, so Deep Wraith is going to attack for 4. Consume the Dark and gain an XP. With Curse on this little tinker. Dead. Get a Droopy. Eel. Let's not make Eel Gang a thing, shall we? Deserved for removing eels. Oh god. So I could either take the damage on my Deep Wraith or could move out here. Honestly, I'm gonna table flip so hard if that's the case. If that happens, that's it. Relationship cancelled with Frosthaven. Should I go here and then I can like take an attack? Sure. Seems fair and reasonable. I guess I could put a damage trap down as well with dangerous gear. Does it really matter? No. I guess if I was to put a trap there, number 2 is going to go like just to there, right? And do nothing. Number 8 will attack. Yeah. Yeah, I could do that. Sure. Oh, hang on. Could I maybe try and get Pincushion done? Ooh. Hold tight. Hang on a minute. Wind that back. I forgot about Pincushion. No, because this guy's never going to be able to get to me. It's fine. We keep it how it is. I don't think we're going to get Pincushion. It's a bit of an awkward one anyway. Okay, so Lord of Chaos is going to attack for 5 onto the Trapper. Oh! Nice. Sometimes it's just better to be lucky than good, chat. Sometimes it's better to just be lucky than good. Nice. So number 2 is just going to go, oh, yep, I'll go here. Number 8 is going to attack for 2. 3. Ooh. Oh, one of these is dead now, right? Huh? Number 7. Alright, so long rest on the trapper. So mobilize. We get to place a 1 damage trap if we want to in an adjacent hex. Seems good. You never know, just in case we come up 1 damage short. Got an avoidable outcome. Follow up. Is Falcon in Frost? I actually don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if it was. I need really early initiative plus dismantle, really, don't I? So it's going to be that and that. So I can get rid of either of these 2. Goodbye, you. Ooh, are we ready? Are we ready, everyone? Get a short rest on the Deep Wraith because we might just try and get XP here. Or, you know, if things go terribly wrong, we need to jump into action on the Deep Wraith. Save the day. Could happen. It's fine. It's a good one to lose. Here we go. Oh, no, you don't. No. You thought you gotta go? Think again. Think again, Mr. Lord of Chaos. Right, we win when he is dead. Just when he is dead. Okay. Move 3. We're going to literally pick up this trap and we're going to throw it. Create a 2 damage heal trap in an adjacent hex. Sure, I guess we could do that. Here we go. Destroy 1 adjacent trap. $21. To do an attack X, where X is the damage value of the destroyed trap, also add all conditions of the destroyed trap to the attack. So it's got wound as well, but he's immune to wound. So 21, wound. Spyglass. All right. No whammies, no whammies, no whammies. Let's go. Okay, we don't miss. But we could do better. Come on, give me the ×2, baby. Oh, after all that? No.
Now that's a lot of damage!
Oh, it's a lot of damage, but it would have been nice to have drawn the ×2. Okay, so it's an attack 20.
A little bit
What?
spicy.
Sorry. It's an attack 21. He has poison, so that's 22. Doubled is 44. That's really disappointing we didn't kill him in one go. 44 damage. It's not over. It's not over. Whoa. All right, well, good job the Deep Wraith is coming in. Deep Wraith's coming in. Nice. So Deep Wraith's going to come in. We're going to teleport 4. Ooh. Get that heal too. Immobilize number 8 and number 2. Well, this guy and this guy. I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter anyway. Heal up for 2. We could miss here and then we'll end up having to do... I mean, I guess actually there's a world here where I don't. I just need to make sure that I do this correctly. But I will absolutely win here. Then we will teleport up to 2. And disarm, gain an XP. Then we will do lacerating stabs. And I'm literally just going to give him the old stabby. 2 XP. All right. So just attack 2. It's enough. First time. And there we go. Absolutely battered. Man. I don't know what we would have done if we didn't just go all in on that. Robes of Doom, coming in clutch. MVP. This actually gives the opportunity for a team that will probably be actually pretty bad at boss fights usually. An opportunity to just be insane. Robes of Doom. What an item. Trapper broken. Confirmed. Take back what you said about not having a great composition. I don't think we necessarily had like a great composition. We had a great item. It's what we had. Whether or not it was like specifically down to the comp. I mean, we could take advantage of that item, maybe more than other classes, because it's not many other classes that would have the opportunity to go, okay, I can just wait, do an attack 21. Like, there isn't another class that can really do that. I mean, that I've seen. You know, we would still be only attacking for like, maybe with a really big powered attack, maybe we'd be attacking for like 10, timesing a 10 or something. It also really helped, of course, that we do that ×2 on the Deep Wraith. So we ended up doing 24 damage just through a Deep Wraith attack as well. So we kind of got lucky at that point that we needed to as well. So yeah, two huge attacks just won it for us. What part of Rose Doom specifically contribute to this? What does it do? I'll show you on the face up, the close up. On your next 2 sources of damage from attacks targeting you, we can suffer 3 damage to give that attacker brittle. Very cool. There we have it. Making you miss Lightning Ball from Gloomhaven. Is it forced to use? No. No. It didn't say you may. Yeah, but items don't say that anymore, right? For optional things. What is the order of token movement and tapping the item? You start the token in the first thing. So you'd start it like there. And then that's 1. 2 would fall off, which taps the item. This exact wording would be forced to use in Gloom, right? Maybe. Yeah, actually, maybe. I mean, I think in that scenario we did anyway. There wasn't there might have been one turn where we didn't apply the brittle, but at the first opportunity to apply brittle, we did. So I don't think. Yeah, maybe it's forced, actually. Thinking about it, it probably is forced. Because the way that thematically it works is that it's like, basically, you're always going to take damage for the next 2, right? Because it says on the next 2 sources of damage. It doesn't say, like... I don't think it would say on the next 2 if it was optional. Thinking about it. That would be weird. Why would it say on the next 2? Because it'd be like, it would like be like, okay, you would have to move the token over maybe, but then you would write, it would probably say the word may. Yeah, it might not be optional, which is why I guess Robes of Doom is a good word for it, because it's bad. It could be bad for you. It's a risky item to use, right? Probably move the token when you take the damage, but you don't have to apply the effect. Maybe, but I don't know. Thematically, I kind of like the idea that it would be forced. Because obviously it's very easy for you to be like, okay, I don't take damage then, I don't take damage then. Oh, you did one damage to me? Yeah, I'll take an additional 3 and, you know. Maybe it'd be a bit too easy to cheese if it was optional. I don't think it mattered for the purposes of this scenario because we applied it as soon as we could. And then we actually rested and got it back and applied it again. So, like, I don't think it really mattered for the purposes of this one. On the next 2 sounds pretty forced to you, unless it specifically says in the rule book something about this. Yeah, I think like you would need to. I think you would absolutely need on the next 2 sources. You would absolutely need to expend the item. For sure. It's just whether or not the suffer 3 damage to give the attacker brittle is optional. I think on the next 2 sources of damage makes it pretty clear that it's not optional to at least move the token. But whether or not the second part of that is optional, I'm unsure. I'm leaning towards probably not optional. Making Robes of Doom quite a dangerous item in certain situations, which would be why it wouldn't be like an item you'd want to use all the time. Hey, Loserpalooza! Thank you so much for the raid. Welcome in, Raiders. Hope you're doing awesome. Thank you so much for the raid. I really appreciate it. Hope you're doing awesome. We have just had an epic end to a scenario of Frosthaven. And we were definitely abusing some items. Robes of Doom was one, and our trap friend here to do a huge attack at the end of the scenario. I hope you're doing well. Ooh, Frosthaven? Yeah, it's good. It's good. We're enjoying it a lot. I hope you had an awesome stream. What have you guys been up to? 34 games already. Yeah, it's kind of like my thing. So for everyone who's new here, Gloomhaven was my favorite game. Still is. Frosthaven hasn't overtaken it yet. I predominantly stream Gloomhaven, now Frosthaven, and I also make video guides for YouTube on Gloomhaven as well, and Frosthaven as well in the future. Frosthaven, I haven't quite got that there yet because I'm trying to play the game as much as I can so that I can get some better knowledge of the classes and start making some good guides. But yeah, I make content around Gloomhaven and Frosthaven for the most part. And then we also cover other games as well that are similar in genre and other board games and things like that, or board gamey-like games as well. go to the forum and find the answer. We could check the FAQ for this item. I do feel like it probably isn't optional. The way that it is worded definitely implies that it is not optional. Like it and also like, yeah, it would be an incredibly strong item. I mean, it's a pretty strong item already, but I think it would be very strong with like zero drawback of you being able to choose when you want to use it, because then it's just incredibly powerful. You would just wait until the timing is absolutely right to pull the trigger, whereas this forces you to be like, nope, you're gonna take damage. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Okay, well, I have to do it. Like in the kind of the opportunity cost of your body item slot, which is, you know, there's great items, great armors and things that you can get in that slot. So the kind of opportunity cost of using an item like this, I think that would come into play a lot more. So, and yeah, this is the kind of item that I'm glad we would never use this on a regular scenario, but on a boss scenario like this, it absolutely like made sense and put us over the top. So it was hugely useful in this scenario, but this is the kind of item that you go, great, that's awesome, back in the box. You know, we'll probably keep that in our sideboard for when maybe another boss scenario comes up, but certainly isn't going to be one that's going to make it in now. I would still much rather run our plain vanilla traveling cloak, you know, giving that extra 1 health. Even though it's very boring, it is a very safe option, you know? It's just safe, easy. Oh yeah, sorry, I'm not necessarily 34 games in. I'm on scenario 34, which is not necessarily 34 games in. We're probably, I don't know, like I think on the YouTube, I'm on like, I'm also uploading this playthrough to YouTube. And I think I'm on like episode 28, but I have replayed one scenario about 3 or 4 times. It's had like 3 episodes. So we're probably like, yeah, a little bit over 20, maybe in terms of total scenarios. It's hard for Frosthaven to overtake Gloomhaven for me because there's no crack heart in it. Yeah. Well, we say that. There's a class. There's hope, right? There's a temptation right now with Meteor waiting in the wings, which looks like it could be the class for me. We'll see. We will see. Anyway, that was awesome. We need to do the end of scenario win. So let's go over to Fortella. All right. Success.
The great beam of energy flickers. It flashes yellow, blue, orange, and then goes out.
Ooh.
The wind. It seems like an age since you last felt it against your skin. It blows over you now, a cold breath drying your sweat. The demon lies beneath you. Its tendrils are clenched tight, knotted in pain, but still its eyes watch. Even now the creature burns with scorn. It shakes. A noise breaks from it like glass and metal rubbing together. A howl, a curse on you and this world and the power it nearly grasped. Then the demon cracks. Its body, too brittle and ancient to dissolve into liquid, breaks apart and slowly disintegrates into the air, a cloud of sooty, prismatic smoke drifting out into the tundra.
Ooh.
The energy beam sputters and sinks down, and finally, the spire is quiet. It's impossible to know what cataclysm you prevented today, and you doubt anyone will believe the story when you tell it. But you know that the north, this wind-blown, spine-backed wilderness, is safer now.
We did a good thing. We did a good thing. Although these rewards, so the rewards are just gain Coral Shard campaign sticker. That is it. Nothing more. No gold. No super sweet loot that the monster, you know, doesn't have. The boss doesn't have like a little treasure trove. No, just gain Coral Shard campaign sticker, which, I mean, it's good progress because I do like the Coral Shard storyline. But yeah, come on, man, give me some gold. I said to myself, I did a good thing. Now I want to get paid for it. No? Come on. What's that about? Right, where's my campaign sheet? Right, there's my campaign sheet. That isn't my campaign sheet. Aha. Right. So let's tidy up a little bit and let's journey on back to Frosthaven. The old trek back. Success. One of my top 3 classes of all time: Gloomhaven, Jaws, and Frosthaven. In terms of favorites, Crackheart number 1. Number 2 would probably be Lightning Bolt, and number 3 would probably be close between Music Note and maybe Redguard. I feel like both of those classes are kind of there. Frosthaven, I'm not willing to name any classes in Frosthaven yet. Trapper is definitely getting up there for me. I really enjoy playing the Trapper, but I haven't played the class enough for any Frosthaven class to be able to come in. Like, even though I've played the Deathwalker and the Drifter, I don't think either of those 2 classes would make my top 5 anyway. But, like, I would be hesitant to put any of them in anyway, without playing a little bit more. Someone level up? The Deep Wraith might have, because they were a little bit ahead. Not sure though, we'll have to check. Yeah, it's really hard, I think, to pick a favorite class or favorites from Frosthaven right now. I'm really liking the tempo of Trapper, like the little tricks that we have, and obviously we get to do something really cool like that. That's, you know, that's good Trapper stuff. Don't forget the Spire still has the basement you didn't explore. Yeah, I think like that would be a good scenario to do maybe when we get some new mercenaries. You know, like when we're just looking for a bit of a just like a side scenario to go and do to get to know the new characters. That kind of scenario, one where you know it's not like a big deal, would be quite good. And if there's a bunch of loot down there instead, maybe all the loot was down, not up, then yeah. I mean, again, it would be a good one to do with new characters. I just wander around of Slay the Spire. There wasn't a heart at the top, though. Is there actually an end to Slay the Spire? Because every time when I haven't played it loads. I've played it a good amount, though. I've done several runs where you go and hit the heart. But then nothing seems to happen. It's like, you did X amount of damage to the heart, and then you just die. And then it's like, thanks for playing. Does anything actually happen there? Can you actually beat the heart? Do you have to do a certain amount of damage or something? Never figured that one out. Yours is Squid Face, Music Note, and Red Guard. Good choices. I like Cthulhu too, but I feel like I only really like Cthulhu when I'm playing Music Note. So it's more of like, if you talk about like my favorite 2-class combinations, my favorite 2-class combination is Cthulhu Music Note from Gloomhaven, because it's just like hilarious. And then maybe you put something with like a really high retaliate figure in there, which you can do that with Lightning Bolt. You can do that with Red Guard, of course. You know, you just play like... So nowadays, if you wanted to have like a really memey combo, do Cthulhu, Music Note, Red Guard. And then maybe just chuck in something else that could give shield, like Void Warden. That would be quite funny. You just unlock Cthulhu for the first time. Nice, Brent. Great class. Really good class. Probably the most thematic class. I mean, I think that helps a lot by the quest line. The quest line is so thematic that it kind of wins the award for the most thematic class just because of that. You know, all of the other classes kind of unlock in... You know, they kind of unlock in their own way, and they have a little bit of story maybe involved in why they're there. Something slightly thematic is like, oh yeah, this is why. But none of them like Cthulhu, where you actually have like a quest chain you follow. And then it's like brutal how you actually stumble across the class. Like, it's brutal. How are we doing on retirement goals, Dan? We're doing pretty good. I think we're... To be honest, on the kelp, we're pretty much in control of it. Like, we could probably retire now if we wanted to, because we picked up a bunch of extra items. I think we need one more small item, and we need maybe one more head item, one more chest item, maybe one more hand item. Let me have a quick look on the spreadsheet. Oh, and I thought I missed a sub earlier as well. I did, didn't I? Lodro, thank you so much for continuing your gifted sub from Phantom, buddy. That's very kind of you. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Look, welcome to the quest full time, my friend. Uh-oh. What happened there? It looked like the file... I was like, uh-oh, the file's been deleted? What? Yes, we need two. Oh, we need 2 more heads. We need 2 more heads, 1 more chest, 2 more boots. Okay, 2 more boots is going to be kind of hard. Because I don't think we even have that many pairs of boots available. That might be kind of tricky. Right, so Outpost phase then, I guess. Let's do that sticker first though, before we forget. We need the coral shard stickers. And I need to update that as well on the... I'm kind of surprised we don't get like a prosperity or something. Should I do like 4 now? Yeah, and then we do... I probably should have done 6 first. I went about the wrong way of doing this. Like the crown on how you're supposed to do it. I think I probably went the wrong way about it. Maybe should have started with the middle and then like built around it. So it doesn't look all scuffed. There's 2 that I can craft at Prosperity 1. Oh, of boots. I guess if they just cost hide, we might be able to do it. The thing is that getting items is quite easy if you've got materials, right? And I think I do have a fairly decent amount of materials on both these characters right now. Yeah. So let's go maybe 4. Ooh. Yeah, I think I did mess this up, right? No, 6 is the one on top. So 4 goes on top of 1. But 4... Oh, I don't know. It's going to look weird. Is it me, or is this just going to look really strange? Because the little, like, pearls or whatever it is on it are not going to line up. Because if I do it down here, then the pearls are going to be like... Oh, I suppose it's the bottom of the rim? Might just be the bottom. But then... Oh, I don't know. I feel like I've messed up somehow. And these are like the weirdest, smallest stickers. Maybe I do this one last, because it is actually looks really tricky to line it up properly. They go 1, 2, 3 for top row, 4, 5, 6 for bottom. It's a crown. Yeah, I get that. So am I supposed to do 3 now then? Is that what you're saying? Oh. So if we do this one next then. Ooh. And it kind of, yeah, goes in the hole there. Good enough. Oh, we end of winter. End of winter. We'll have a bunch of things to resolve now, too. A bunch of things to resolve. Hang on, is this thing scuffed again? The calendar on my spreadsheet scuffed again. I think I got it right, but very weird. Right, we've got 3 coral shards now. Back to summer times? Yeah, summertime. So we got to read 129.3, 115.1. Is that right? So let's do 129.3 first. Hopefully there's a lot of audio for this. There should be. $129.3.
While life on the tundra is anything but easy, your time in Frosthaven has earned you a pedigree few could ever touch. You've survived in the place where life is so hostile to your existence that some battered wooden walls are all that stand between you and an icy death. But today, with the sun cresting over the mountains and the promise of summer stretching before you, you can't help but feel hopeful. You've tested your strength against countless enemies, but you've made some friends in this pocket of life too. While you don't know what the next year holds, you know this place has earned its name. Home.
Oh, that's nice. Isn't that nice? Oh. Add events, Winter Outpost 21 to 47 to the Winter Outpost decks. Events, Summer Outpost 21 to 35 to the Summer Outpost deck. Events, Winter Road Event 21 to 30 to the Winter Road deck. And events, Summer Road Event 21 to 32 to the Summer Road deck. Gain 2 soldiers. Ooh. Yes, please. We were a little bit low and we were starting to dwindle a little bit on our soldiers. So that's nice. Okay, let's do that then, before we forget. Right, winter. Let's do the Winter Outposts first. So Outpost. 21 to 47. Hang on a minute. I don't have 21. Oh, that's because, yeah, no, I did have 21. I did. That's a lot of cards we're adding. Look at that. Thick. All of that. To this. It's like 4 times the size of the deck. We're gonna have to give this a good old shuffle, I think. Tutorial is over. Yeah, only bad times ahead. Yeah, we've just added 30 attacks into the deck. Good luck, enjoy Frosthaven. Oh god, I've absolutely bent that card in half, basically. We'll ignore that one. Right. So that's winter events. Summer Outpost 21 to 35. Do 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 do. 21. 35. It's a little bit less. Oh, 30. No, 35. It's the other one that's 30. Oh no, I just mixed them into that. What the f... Oh no, we're okay. We're saved. Oh, saved. What to do with a Gloomhaven box after you beat it? Resale value seems iffy. I mean, personally, I've kept mine for just collector's value. You know, it's going to go on my shelf. It'll appear in the backs of videos, things like that. So for me, I would want to keep it. Yeah, resale value is not great. It depends on how, you know, how much did you rip up? Did you rip anything up? Did you sticker lots of stuff without the removable stickers? You know, that kind of thing. If you can reset it, for the most part, then yeah, the resale value won't be amazing, but I think you would still get it. You'd probably still get a decent-ish amount. You'd probably, and what is it, $100 brand new? You could probably sell it for like 40, 50 bucks maybe. You'd have, the weight of it means that people don't really want to ship it, so you'd probably have to maybe sell it to someone locally. You'd be better off, you know, seeing if you have any like board game sale pages in your area and go that way about it. Otherwise, give it to a friend. Maybe, like, if in terms of like, if you wanted to keep some of it, keep the characters, nothing else. What would be quite cool in the future, and maybe Cephalofair has thought about this, but to have like a little kind of chest where you could put all of the different class tuck boxes and keep them all in one place. So as the game kind of system grows and the universe grows and more classes are added, for the players who, you know, you've played that, you want to throw that away, but you want to keep hold of that class, you would have like a nice storage solution to hold all of the classes in. I imagine that with the RPG, there's going to be some level of that, maybe, for like holding all the monsters, standees and stuff. But so it'll be like the natural thing, right? We'd have something to do with that. Or you could just design one yourself. But that would be the only component that I would be like, yeah, keeping hold of the characters seems like a good idea. Just because, you know, there's scope in the future for you to use them in a different campaign or something. Okay, so that is Summer Outposts done. Winter Road. Do 21 to 30. 21. 30. Am I going to build something new? I don't think I have enough gold. I was really hoping that I would get some gold from that scenario, and I just didn't. I could maybe sell something to get a little bit of gold to construct something new, but yeah, gold has been hard to come by. It's a big bottleneck in the game. It is the main bottleneck now, which is interesting because you can build the lumber camps and things like that, and it's like, oh, spend gold to get lumber, but there doesn't seem to be, or at least I haven't been consistently gaining gold every scenario. I've been, for the most part, not really. I don't think I've done the best at looting, to be fair, but also the scenarios have been hard enough. You know, imagine a couple of the scenarios that I've done recently, if I had run off to go and get some loot at some point, maybe that could have been the difference. You know, I was literally down to the last turn with on the last one with my Deep Wraith. So if I had spent that one extra turn getting a piece of loot at some point. Whereas when I was playing the Drifter had so many good loot cards. Well, we had one great loot card, to be fair. But he had that one great loot card, so I was just always gaining loot when I had the Drifter in my party. Without him, it's definitely been slim pickings. I can always sell resources for 2 gold by crafting and then sending the iron back. Yeah, you can, yeah. Which is a bit cheeky, but yes, I did do that before. Aren't I an investor in a polar bear meat company? Hasn't that paid off yet? Don't you remember that that was the one that we didn't get anything back and it was like too bad? I was very angry about that. Do you not remember? I was like, what? Because you guys were like, pump the stock. It went all in and then it went bust. And then finally, Summer Road, 21 to 32. Ah. Ask the Drifter for a loan. GG in Frosthaven. He is technically come back now, right? He's working at the old blacksmiths. Two-player is more rough for gold, you think? Other resources you often get too when playing two-player, but for gold you don't get that. Yeah, that's true. There's no multiplier for gold in two-player, whereas there are multiplier potentially for the other resources. That's very true. You know, it's just luck of the draw. Less tokens to pick up, so I'm going to draw less cards from the loot deck because there's less tokens to pick up because there's less enemies to kill. So, you know, less enemies to kill, less tokens to pick up, and like you say, the gold will remain constant, whereas the resources will not. Sorry. Yeah, the resources will not because they will be potentially be an additional. All right. Whew. That was quite a long one to resolve, that, with all of that stuff. But there you go. Event decks all sorted. Gained our soldiers. Now we need to do the next one. 115.1. Just port in 3 spears for a second. Yeah, just run around. Level 9 3 spears though, right? Okay, here we go.
Pinter Droman, Frosthaven's resident tinkerer, pulls off a pair of thick leather gloves as you enter his workshop.
Finish looking at that crate you nabbed off the ship the other day.
He gestures to a wooden, tar-covered crate.
Oh yeah, the crate!
An abandoned ship at the dock.
Elkwood, good construction. Exotic stuff, probably from the eastern continent. The tar
He dips a fingertip into a sample dish perched atop a warmer.
is mostly civet fat. Watertight, good quality. Exactly the sort of thing you'd want to contain elemental energy.
He nods,
Ooh.
analysis complete. You're about to press him for details when he remembers something.
Oh, and the egg looks cracked. Nothing inside.
He shrugs.
I'm really more of a mechanics guy.
Okay. Section links. If building 83 is built, read 28.1 now. Do we have that? I don't think we do, right? What's building 83? Ooh, is that the library? Oh man, is that the library? Because we were wondering what the library did. It is the library. Looks like we're going to have to build the library soon. Okay. Well, it says if we had the library, we would do something. But because we don't, we have to add 178.1 to the calendar in 3 weeks. Which is different again. Oh, good. $178.1 then. Okay. Now, finally, we can do an event. Summer Outpost event. Oh, baby! We've had this one before. We've had this one before. All right, Summer Outpost number 17.
Frosthaven has been built up and burned down repeatedly, so just about anywhere you can plant a shovel has the potential for the remains of buried treasure, or just remains. As such, the populace has taken up a morbid pastime. In the summers, when the ground is softer, groups of treasure hunters spend afternoons working through patches of ground with pickaxes, hoping to dredge up whatever valuables lie underneath. One such group is making the rounds today. An old-timer hollers at you with a toothless smile.
Care to throw in a hand? We found a lucky spot. You can keep whatever you find.
Couldn't hurt to join them. Make a deck of 8 loot cards, comprised of any material resource or gold cards of your choice that you'd like to keep an eye out for.
Oh. How many? 5? 8? Oh, man. Oh. How many's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We'll have to put like one. We'll put one like +2 thing in. I guess technically, how much gold does it get me though? That'd be weird. What happens when you draw a gold card outside of a scenario? That's kind of weird. Anyway, the back side of this was strong, which I don't think we have. Do we have strong? We don't have strong. Money is gain 3 collective gold. So it is still worth it to have the 2 money because it's be 2 versus 4, right? Yeah, so the exchange rate is 3. Or is it just 3 per one, or? How am I supposed to draw from the deck where you made the X? Wouldn't it be winter still? No, technically not. You do the one in front. It's very confusing, Dusk. It's confusing. We have crossed off that week because that week is over. Think of it more like the start of a new week rather than like it's the end of a week. Does that make sense? It says, It says material resource, gain 1 collective resource of that type. Money, gain 3 collective gold. Is 3 flat per card? Oh, and the resources are flat as well? Okay, well then, in that case, I guess we just put the money in and... We just put all money, right? It's just money. We want money. Actually, do I want wood? At any point? How are we doing for wood? Wood supplies are low. We need more wood, sire. Actually, no, we don't. We've got 3 lumber on Sebastian right now. Hmm. Do we add one more? Yeah, and then we just add herbs. And we go gambling. Stinky mushrooms. Corpse caps, because they are literally digging up corpses. Only 2 corpse capses ever? Oh. Feels bad. Okay, so we get to draw as many times as we want. Bit of gambling. Every time that we draw, if we draw the gold, we get a gold. Well, we get 3 gold. If we draw a herb, we lose a morale. So it's a bit of a push your luck. Currently, morale is very good for us. Very, very good. We could probably take 1 hit on the morale, or maybe even 2 hits on the morale, really. We are currently on 19 morale. And I'm not too bothered about getting to the max 20 to unlock that part of the scenario, but quite yet. 21 gold, 1 resource, 3 morale. Yeah. Draw them all. Think it's worth it for 21 gold? I mean, morale is... I mean, I guess we're already on, like... We're doing pretty good with morale. We could go for the max. Okay. Boom. 3 gold. 6 gold. 12 gold. -1 morale. -2 morale. Oh, wow, we're going for it now, huh? Okay, now we're going for it. What? Good shuffle, I guess.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's 21 gold, which doesn't really matter who gets it, I guess, at this point in time, because we're just going to be using it for making buildings. We'll split 10 and 10. Trap did already have some gold, so that I need to add to the sheet, and then we'll give Kelp the extra 1. -3 morale. That's fine. Don't worry about it. There are any bodies, everybody. Everything went my way today. It does feel like we had a very, just lucky day in Frosthaven today. Everything just came out well. Although we had a plan. As soon as I saw, while I was setting up this scenario today, I took a look at the boss just to see what the immunities were, because I was like, right, where are we going to start? Because this could be a nightmare. And saw that it wasn't immune to poison and saw that it wasn't immune to brittle. I was like, huh. Surely there's something here that we can do. And then obviously the build the giant trap plan kind of came about. We also got some really great draws, didn't we, as well? Not only that, but we also got the great draws. Okay. So that gets shuffled. Well, it goes to the bottom. Gets shuffled in. So I am drawing from that side of the deck. Oh, man. Actually, I'm going to be drawing from that side of the deck. Makes it easier for me. Okay. Nice. So, good stuff. Actually, no. Yeah, I'll draw like that. Right, so building operations then. So we've done events, now onto building operations. So do we want to buy anything? I might buy a little bit of lumber here. How much? Let me just quickly update my sheets actually before we do that. Just because I know I've got a little bit more here that I don't have on my sheets. You can also obviously update the XP and everything. One, three. We got an extra axe nut there as well. That's kind of cool. That can go straight into the axe nut supply. I don't see any reason to actually keep herbs in personal supplies, so just chuck them all into the main. It's all good. Oh, 1 XP away, huh? Didn't even notice that. Yeah, 11. That's now technically 2 for some reason. Why is that 2 there, but 3 on my sheet? I trust my sheet more than I do this. And then an extra tick. Okay. Nice. Are there any ways to get prosperity up if you run out of stuff to build, aside from retiring? No, there's a few small like events and things, I think. Yeah, like as people were saying, but I don't think so. Did I do a challenge, or did you give yourself 2 XP for doing it? If so, oh, I didn't do a challenge. No. I don't think I've done I've only ever done 1 challenge, and I think I've remembered to log that. No, I've done 2 challenges. Apparently, I've done 2 challenges. I think Pelican has asked me that before, Ike, and I think we adjusted that. That one we didn't do a challenge, right? Did we do a challenge? I can quite easily see, but I don't think we did a challenge the last 2 scenarios. Like in those little, the only ones we've done. Yeah, neither of the 2 ones that we have here are for the scenarios that we just did, I'm pretty sure. Easy to forget? Yeah. I think I missed that 1 experience that 1 time. You get that 1 thing in the scenario the other time. Yeah. That 1 time. Okay, sheet is all updated correctly now, I think. You guys can see, I think we're all good. We are all good right now. Scenario tracker. That. Flow chart. Top of Spire is it, right? Yeah. That is the end. Okay, so... Oh, we should get inspiration. Oh, we should get two lots of inspiration. 5. I should have 7 inspiration right now. Because we beat the Link scenario, right? So I should get... Yeah, I should get 4 inspiration total there. And I've got an odd number of inspiration because of some weird card or something that we got, right? That gave us like 1 inspiration. Okay, building operations then. So, mining camp. Do we want to buy metal? I don't think so. I think we're gonna build the library. I guess it's a good idea to just build the library. Options for building is Temple of the Great Oak. Library. It's library then really, isn't it? I think. So that we just have it done for next time. So the library, we need 4 wood, 4 metal, and 1 hide. We got so much hide. Let's see if we have the wood and the metal. I think we do. We may need to buy some more though for the next time we build. Yeah, we've only got 2 wood, 3 metal there. 1, 3. We've got enough, and we probably, to be fair, we probably do have enough for a build, 2 builds, and if we don't, we can always buy some next time. No gold. We've got gold now. But yeah, gold seems to be like the main thing we're kind of bottlenecked on, so I don't think we should do this until we know exactly what we're doing. Okay, garden. This is cool though. So garden, gain 1 herb from each planted plot, then rotate this 180 degrees, then stop. So we gain a arrow vine. Right, because that's what we had in our garden, arrow vines. Double check, pretty sure. Yeah, growing some arrow vine. Nice, now we have at least 1 of every resource, which is good. The build cost is on the board, not the card. Oh, you're right. Sorry, that's the upgrade cost. Yeah, you're right. Sorry. Yeah, it's 3. Oh, it's only 3 and 2 then. Oh, we're fine. It's only 3 wood and 2 metal. We're fine. Temple needs a lot of metal. Maybe we should buy some wood here then. We're going to need 7 wood over the next 2 turns. 2 sort of phases. But I guess we've probably got that. 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got 6 right now. We could always buy wood next time. Yeah, let's just leave it. Craftsman, nothing. Alchemist, nothing. Workshop, nothing. Town hall, nothing. Barracks, we could do the barracks. We could spend a hide and 3 gold. We can afford that. Then we're back up to full strength. A hide. We've got 18 hide currently. We're now 17 hide. Oh, God. 13. I think that's good. Always like, I think it's like always just built by a soldier when you have a slot. It just feels like you should probably do it. Okay, great. So that's building operations. So now we can go to downtime. So in downtime, we have the option to buy anything if we want, craft anything. I don't feel like we really need to do any of that at the moment. There's nothing to be done. We could craft some stuff, but ultimately, I don't think like there's anything that we really want to craft. I guess we could, in theory, turn our sword now into the Deep Wraith sword into that better sword. We could do, but I think it's okay the way it is. Yeah, I just don't think that there's much we really need to do. Like the thing with the Deep Wraith is that we will just, when we want to retire, we will just do it, right? So there's no real need to do anything right now. Except for maybe to like try and get some extra gold maybe, so that we have gold for buying resources next time. But that doesn't really matter because then we can just wait till next time to just gain the gold for the construction, you know? Any new potions to open up? No, only the ones that we know about, but I think we can't quite do 3. We can't do 3 yet, right? I think that's the next level of Alchemist. Yeah, so we need to get 1 more level of Alchemist, really, and we need to be Prosperity 4 for that. I think we're knocking on the door of Prosperity level 4. Yeah, we need 2 more Prosperity to get to 4. And by building the library, we will get 1 Prosperity, so we may be able to get Alchemist level 3 maybe in the next couple of scenarios, maybe. Then we can start doing that. So it might be good to just keep the potions, the herbs for now, just so that when we do, we can kind of go, okay, let's get a bit of everything and try some stuff out. Yeah, so I actually feel like I'm not going to do anything in downtime. There's just no reason for me to do anything. We have like stuff to craft, but it's just, at the moment, I feel like we're pretty full on our slots. We've got everything that we want. You know, we picked up a lot of items ourselves recently. So there really isn't anything here that I'm like super jazzed about. Now, the only reason why we would make any of these things is if we wanted to get, I don't know, a retirement done on the Deep Wraith. I'd much rather kind of just wait. I guess I could sell the skinning knife and then buy another better hand item, couldn't I? Because the skinning knife has been pretty rubbish, to be honest. Especially considering how much I actually have. So skinning knife is 15. So I could sell that for 7. And then maybe we could find another hand slot item. But the other thing, of course, is that it does count towards me having those hand slots, because Corrupted Blade is the one that we've been thinking about. There's nothing that says that I can't have 2 of the same item on the character, right? Or is there, chat? I don't think there is. Was that a thing in original Gloomhaven? I can't even remember. I don't think you may ever really have many incentive to do that. Can you only have 1 of each item? If I retire before level 5, will I still do the solo for fun? Yeah, probably. It was a thing in original Gloom for sure. I just don't remember it. Because there would only be a... Oh yeah, I remember it was small items. I'm thinking like hand items. Yeah, small items definitely. Yeah. But there's nothing to say that I couldn't have a Corrupted Blade and a regular blade, right? Nothing to say that I couldn't have a Corrupted Blade and the regular sword. Yeah, I can have both, that's fine, yeah. So we could, in theory, sell the skinning knife, or we could just make the Corrupted Blade. Do we have... we have enough herbs to make unhealthy mixtures. So I could just do 2 axe nuts, maybe? To get an unhealthy mixture. Sure. The three combinations of herbs, they are all different herbs, aren't they? It's always 3 different. Yeah, it is. So me stacking like 2 of something isn't really worth it at this point in time. If my plan ultimately is to do this. Okay, let's do that then. Right, so we're going to make an unhealthy mixture. And we will use it. And we will buy the extra sword so we don't have to change that sword out. So where's the sword? I think it's like iron, isn't it? We have to spend metal, maybe? Where are you? Hang on, is there only one of them, chat? I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter. But how much does it cost? Is it just metal? Why can't I find the second copy of it? I swear there's 2 copies of it. Oh, there's some still in the box. I didn't quite get all of the cards out. There we go. There are all the basic ones. Oh, so it's metal and hide. Okay, that's fine. Got loads of hide. So we also pay a metal and a hide. And we keep the skinning knife for now. Just because it helps us towards the condition. Metal and a hide. Nice. So now we've got 3 hand items, which is pretty cool. And we have ourselves a corrupted blade, number 24. I like that. Poison dagger is also a consideration due to count for many small attacks. Yeah, maybe poison dagger would be okay considering that we are doing we're not playing the trophies, right? We're not playing bone collector or skull collector. But I feel like this is like, the thing is though is that this covers some nice bases. You've got a reusable +1 attack that's always going to be good. It's never going to be bad. And then you've got corrupted blade for the basically the immediate potential bane. Just need to find a bottom attack. Where's the app, actually? We need to make the change on the app, too. That actually now should be 5. Nice. Okay, great. So that's it. That's all we're going to do in downtime then. I think that's fine. Make a little bit of progress towards our Deep Wraith's personal quest, and that's going to be a useful item. So now we'll go into construction. So we are going to construct the library. The library costs us 10 gold, 3 wood, and 2 metal. So let's find our wood. 3 wood. I think we'll just take some from there. Two metal, wasn't it? And 10 gold, which Mr. Trap will graciously donate. Sticker time! Library, library, library. I'm missing a sticker sheet somewhere. Where are you, sticker? Whoa. Am I being dumb? Huh? Huh? What? Am I missing a sticker sheet somehow? Is one gone? Wait, what? I'm not just being dumb, am I? It's on here all along? No, no. No. What the hell? It's not caught up in this somehow? No. Uh-oh. Did I check the envelope? Oh, the envelope. You're right. They were separate, weren't they? Good calls. I was looking for the big sheet. You're right. They're not. They're on the small sheets, aren't they? Here it is. I was looking for the big sheets. I forgot that that came in an envelope. The library. Very cool. Books are very cool. +1 prosperity and then read 190.3. That's also one more personal quest for the Trapper. Do-do-do-loo. .3. Okay. 190.3.
In light of the recent attacks, all available capable labor has been sent to support town infrastructure. You pulled some strings to get a cushy assignment helping out at the new library. Inside, you find crates piled high and an elegant, put-together Valrath stocking the shelves. She adjusts her red-rimmed glasses and eyes you with a touch of scorn.
This is who they sent me. Very well. I am Erika, your resident librarian. I'll be managing the growing collection here, and I trust you will treat these books with the same care you treat...
She looks over your party, then furrows her brow.
whatever it is you choose to treat well.
She points to a stack of crates along the wall.
Shelve those. Follow the Damon Decimal System.
She starts walking toward the back room, and without looking back, waves a finger in the air.
Except gemstones. Put that under orchid.
Oh. Choice. If educated, read 164.2. Otherwise, read 143.2. Uh-oh. Say we're pretty dumb. Think we're pretty dumb. Definitely not educated. How's the crab not educated? He's educated in the ways of the sea, but nothing else, unfortunately for us. Not in the way of books. It's got to be quite hard to hold a book with those claws, though, right? Just like snip right through the pages. How do you turn a page?
You're not even halfway through sorting the books when Edika returns.
What are you doing?
She grabs a book on vermling psychology out of your hands.
The spines face out so you can read them. And this?
She grabs an object off the shelf, brandishing it angrily inches from your face.
This is a block of wood. This could someday be a book, but it certainly isn't yet. Where did you even find this?
She stops, gathering herself with a deep breath. She straightens her skirt and starts again, more calm.
All right. Master Scrim would want me to spread knowledge, not animosity, so how about we make a deal?
She smiles mischievously.
I teach you about all the library has to offer, and you collect a few, items from the field for me.
She averts her gaze, unsure how to continue.
There are just a few tomes that I'd like you to retrieve.
You look at her blankly and she rolls her eyes.
Books, tomes, or old books.
You nod.
Somewhere out there are books of incredible power. The Tome of Life, the Tome of Conflict, the Tome of the Elements, and the Tome of Time. I want you to collect them for me.
Huh?
The young Valrath pushes
Infinity
her
stones?
red-rimmed glasses up the bridge of her nose.
I'm not going to spend my time up here working on some nonsense busy work. As though I should sit around writing the complete history of Frosthaven. This town is just over 5 years old. It'll barely fill a napkin.
It's clear this is an argument she's had in the past, and her hands are balled up in the memory of it. After a moment, she remembers you're standing in front of her. She gives a terse smile, then takes a deep breath before continuing.
My research suggests the Tome of Life is in this region. It's the whole reason I'm up here at all. If you do happen upon it and bring it back to me, I'll make sure you're rewarded. And just for keeping an eye out, I'll provide a world-class education as only a resident librarian can offer. Sound fair?
Rewards. Add event Winter Road Event 45 to the Winter Road deck. And event Summer Road 47 to the Summer Road deck. Section links add 152.3 to the calendar in 2 weeks. Is she Thanos in disguise? What is this? Going around getting like the books of power? What's gonna happen when she assembles them all? I don't like where this is going. Where's my pencil? There's my pencil. 152.3 in 2 weeks. Oh no. I should have left some space. Right, I'm gonna have to translate this into my other calendar, otherwise I will maybe miss that. Yep. Good. Okay. And there we have it. Library is built. Just gonna put these events in. Summer Road 47. So many events added today. Just an absolute bunch of them. And Winter Road 45. I guess that would be because maybe, depending on if you were in summer or winter, you would still get it, maybe? Seems interesting why they would do that. Why add them to both decks? Hang on, what? It's already in there. Honey? What? Oh, I'm on the Outpost deck. That will be why. Dope. There we go. That's better. Do. Now I read the barrel event because I have a library now. If only. Yeah. Gotta wait 3 weeks to give that one another go. I mean, it's kind of cool that they do that because it means that it kind of incentivizes you to build a certain building. It gives you a little bit of direction, like, hey, maybe you want to build this building to resolve this thing that's kind of going on. It gives you a bit of a goal. If you're a little bit stuck, like, what do we do next? It's like, well, that kind of gives you a bit of a steer on, hey, probably a good idea to do that now. All right. Done. Finito. Finished. What a great scenario and session today. A couple really good ones back to back, actually. We're finding our groove. Most definitely. These are all in the wrong order for some reason. Starting to find our groove. And that's good. So hopefully we can kind of continue this success that we've had over the last few scenarios in. And yeah, I mean, I think at this point in time, I don't actually know what scenarios we have left. I'll have to review, and then next time we'll just be doing whatever. You know, we've kind of come to the end of that little side. I think we can go and do the derelict elevator, I think, was like the other one that we could do instead of this. It's like, hey, you can go do that one or that one. I don't think that one's locked off, right? I still feel like we maybe have that one to do. So we could go and do that maybe. You know, kind of continue on the, I guess it's like the Chaos Demons and the Machines, the unfettered side of the thing. So maybe, yeah, maybe we go to elevator next time. Next scenario is the bottom of the tower. No, I think like the bottom of the tower one will probably, it doesn't link to anything. It's just another scenario there from what I can tell. I mean, I'll double check it, but I don't think it does. Then we'll leave that one as like a nice scenario to just go do when we have a new party. Just chuck them in and see how they do, I think. Now, when we're trying to learn and we want a fairly low pressure scenario, then that might be quite a good one to do.
I think still, yeah.
Oh,
Scout
the
wins.
that's the blessing from Scout. That's the blessing from.
Isaac, at this point, can we get your approval to add an additional attack modifier deck for allies in the digital version?